session now. I hope that we're all doing well. How are we feeling for our STEM session? You type something in the chat if you're feeling ready to learn something about the scholarship applications. Right, what I'm seeing so far. So we're going to go ahead and start our session off. Whatever we do, we have to start with prayer. So let us go ahead and do that. So allow me 1 second to share the presentation. All right, so for our session today, we will be looking at three main things. We're looking at how we can find the scholarships that are available to us. We're looking at the deadlines, who these scholarships apply to, where to find them, and also application and advice tips from different scholars or different scholars.
How do you find the
So, by the way, if you have any questions, feel free to just raise your hand and we'll type it in the chat and then we'll go forward. So, as I said, we're just going to invite the Lord's presence before us as we are going to start. Let's just bow our heads as we Right. Kind and compassionate Heavenly Father, as I come before you now, just want to thank you for all you have done for us so far. Please continue to be with us, and as we go into our session, help it to be educational and informative. Help us to all learn and be able to apply it to our scholarships confidently. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. By the way, you're all able to hear me clearly, right? You're able to hear me. Let me just type something in the chat. Just raise your hand if you're hearing me clearly. All right, wonderful. So you all are hearing the beautiful, beautiful love that. So we're gonna go forward. First thing on our agenda, just make sure that you guys are seeing the screen. Is that we're gonna start off by looking at the different scholarships that are available to you, the STEM students. So now I am the current School of Engineering representative, right? STEM encapsulates science and technology, engineering, and mathematics. So it doesn't only involve engineering. So I have myself and this kit rep Percival Roberts. You'll see it pretty soon. We'll share the different places that we can find the scholarships. And the first one that we're going to start off is that we're going to look at the scholarships that are made available to us on the UTech JA webpage. So now, if you are not really familiar with the UTech's webpage, and specifically with the part of the page that deals with student financing and scholarships, you can just scan the QR code on the side of the screen, and it will take you to the page. So just some things to bear in mind about the UTech scholarships. There are scholarships available for current UTech students as well as incoming students. So if you're gonna go into year one, your year two, year three, year four, whether you're undergraduate or a graduate student, or even a diploma student, there are scholarships available to all of you. So while we will place emphasis on some of the STEM scholarships, these scholarships that UTech provides are open to all students. So you can share these with your friends as well. So the deadline for this scholarship is actually July 31st for both incoming and current students. And we'll take a look at the website pretty soon, just touching on a few things. You know, you're gonna submit the form, the application form to the scholarship unit office on the compound, or for those of you who are overseas, You email your completed application form and all of the listed documents to financialaidutech@gmail.com. So let's say the QR code isn't necessarily working for you. Here's a manual video showing you how you'd go about finding the site, and specifically for scholarship. So you just type in UTech JA, and the first website that comes up, that's the one you're gonna go on. You're going to go to the admissions section. You're gonna scroll down to the financial aid part. You're gonna select financial aid, and then you're gonna select the scholarship and bursary section. And that takes you to the UTech scholarship page. And as you can quite clearly see here, you can search for scholarships by your program, by your subject area, or you can view the entire scholarship listing really and truly. So, of course, we're going to take a deeper dive into the scholarship that are available on UTech JA's webpage. So let me just switch over to that page. So I'm hoping all of us will be there currently with the QR code. Go back if you're not seeing the QR code. So go back, give you a nice little 10 to 15 seconds, use the smart devices and scan the QR code. I'll move over to the website. Right, are we all there? We're all able to see the page? I would hope so. If not, if you're not able to follow on the page, as I said, I'm just going to switch over to the UTech page so you can see it now. Right. So currently on the UTech page, it says that the deadline is July 31st for new students and June 30th for returning students. The website is actually supposed to be updated shortly from speaking to the scholarship. So for both incoming students and current students, the application deadline for you is July 31st. As I said, the page will be renewed shortly. Just bear that in mind. So currently, the scholarship application form is here, and you can browse the different scholarships that are available to you. So let me use myself as an example, right? I am an engineering student. So if I want to browse by subject area, I just go to engineering, and just like that, a whole list of different engineering scholarships that are available. You can see it here. All right, I just want to make sure that everyone's in this. I know it may take some time to load up. So on the engineering option, here you can see the different scholarships that UTech would have provided for the different engineering students. So if you're a third year electrical engineering student, you can apply for the aeronautical telecommunications scholarship, and then so on and so forth. So you can look at the table that is specific to your subject area to find out what scholarships you can apply for. So let's go back and look at the application form now. So let's scroll back up. And here you have the scholarship application form. So say for instance, you want to apply for more than one scholarship. With UTech, it is so great that you just fill out the application form once. So I'm just giving time to load. Right. So as I said, the scholarship unit website is currently being updated. So you should be able to see all the current deadline, more up-to-date deadline, up-to-date scholarship application form shortly. So this is one that you can use as a guide for when you're filling up the actual application form. So as I was saying, if you look back on, if you're an engineering student and you look at the different criteria and you see different scholarships that you want to apply for, you are going to get this form and you're going to print it once, just once. Every scholarship you're applying for under the UTech page, you just fill out the form once. And here you have all the different criteria that is needed. So you're going to need your school ID and your progress report. That's after you finish the application and you're about to submit. So let's take a look at the scholarship page, the application page rather. So right here, you would list all the awards that you want to apply for. So if you have looked at the website and you see, okay, from this website, I'm eligible to apply for like 5, 6 different scholarships, you place each of them here. And something very important to note is, I believe it lists it here, in this point, where it says, students are allowed to have one award of any value or multiple awards where the sum of these total awards do not exceed $500,000. So what that means is that if you're selecting or if you want to apply for like 2 or 3 awards, just ensure that some of those awards don't come over 500,000. So the cap is 500,000. And I think for most UTech students and STEM students, that should cover majority of your fee, especially, as I said, if you're a SOE or a SKIT student, or probably even a student from a health science faculty, then that should cover the majority of your tuition. So the rest of the application form just goes into greater detail. So your parental information, all of that. And just remember, I can't stress this enough. You just fill out this form once. So when you are finished with all of this information, you look back up and you ensure that you submit your photo ID, your school ID, your progress report. If you're a new student, if you're a current student, but if you're an incoming student, you submit a copy of your CXC and or your CAPE results. So that is something to bear in mind as it relates to the UTech JA's web page. Are there any questions or comments as it relates to this web page? Are we all clear on it? Can we move on? I'm seeing a raised hand. Let me just check the comments. All right, so everyone seems good. All right, great. So now we are going to move on to the next main area that you can use to find some scholarships. On the full presentation, so you're able to see here up. All right, so the next place that you can look to find different scholarships is the Warlords Hub. So if you are a UTech student, the word or the term warlord isn't something that's supposed to be new to you. Or just in case, you're not really a UTech student as yet, or as I said, a UTech student, the School of Engineering students, that's what we call ourselves. So we're the engine warlords. And if you're more from the skit side, from the computing side, you are bulldogs, so skit bulldogs. So different schools or colleges have different names. So what one of the previous persons on this engineering representative body did is that they realized, especially for the incoming students, the UTech Jamaica's webpage, it may be a bit overwhelming for some of the students, all of the different tables and everything. It shouldn't be too bad, But we know sometimes, it may be a bit overwhelmed by some of the information. So what we have done, you can scan the QR code as well, is that we took each of those scholarships from the UTech JA's webpage and we organized them based on the year and how they are applicable to you or to us as engineers. And again, even though the webpage is one created by the engineering students, it is one that anyone can use. So what is done? Let me just go on the next slide, or at least no, let me go to the website itself. So the deadline remains the same since it is for UTech scholarships. So we switch over to the website so you can see. So what we did, once
Yeah, yeah.
all right, so we can just head over to the World Spot so you can see it. Right. So as I was telling you before, just to reiterate some of the points, what we did is organized each of the scholarships by the years. Warlords Hub, specifically to the scholarship depot section. You can just look at all of the scholarships that are open to you that you are eligible for. And the same thing is done for second year, third year, and fourth year as well. In addition, we also have the application form attached, so you can look at it there. 1 second while the page loads up. So what we also did rather, is that we placed the criteria necessary for the scholarships as well. So let's just take a look. So on the first years, these are all the scholarships that would be that you would be eligible for as a first year engineering student. So let's just click on this one. So here you can see the requirements. You must be a first year Faculty of Engineering and Computing and School of Nursing student. So you see, even though it's something that was created by an engineering student, it's something that all the students can use. So it's organized by the year and the different requirements. So you can always check this site out as well if you want to check it by the year. If it's a bit easier for you to understand, then that is fine. So this is for first year, second, third year, fourth year, and then the general ones for all the years as well is down below. And other scholarships or grants that may be offered outside of UTech is also present. So you can check the Warlords Hub for more organized scholarship information, if you understand what I'm saying. All right. So that is it for the Warlords Hub. Do we have any questions so far? Any comments, or we're all good? All good, just say all good in the chat. All right. So all good, all good. I love that. So now we're going to move on to next page that we can use. And this is the Faculty of Engineering and Computing webpage. So this is something that was done by the faculty of the UTech, specifically the Faculty of Engineering and Computing. And for this one, I'll allow our skitter to talk some more on this.
Good day, everyone. So I'm just going to speak a bit on the scholarships that will be available or that are currently available for incoming students. So as the SLE rep mentioned earlier, there are some scholarships for both engineering and computing, right? Now, as far as we know, the deadline for those scholarships remains at the 30th of June. However, for ease of application, what the university, well, what the faculty did rather, was to create a website where students can actually apply for it from there. If you know of anyone who wants to come to UTech specifically, they're coming into the faculty of engineering and computing, you can provide them with this link to apply. So here we just have a video explaining how to find said scholarship. So I'll just let the video play, you guys can watch it. So right now we're just navigating from Google, of course, to FENC websites. It's loaded. There is quite a bit of information on it. However, the main area is really and of course, they have the different programs that you can apply to, or programs applicable for scholarships in both engineering and computing. Right, so for the application process, all you need to do is fill out your name, phone number, just the basic credentials, the high school that you go. What happens is after you fill out the application, then it will be sent to the faculty to be vetted, and once they approve it, then a representative will contact you, and then they will sort out the process from there. So that's pretty much it for the Okay, so here I'm just navigating to the actual page. I'm just giving it some time for it to load, and then showcase what was said earlier. Slide. So here we have the web page. So it's at utechja.com. There's a bit of information. You can read it on time. Of course, the link will be sent in the chat shortly, amongst the other links that we mentioned earlier. So all the information is here, how to apply and what you need to apply. And as I said, we have the different programs. So I think this will cover all the programs in, well, yeah, the programs are the programs in SKIT and engineering as well. So engineering, civil, so you cover all programs for both schools. Then you have the process, your name, phone number, email, age, high school. And this scholarship, I must stress, is only for incoming students. So if you know someone that wants to come to UTech, they're in the process of applying, they've gotten their acceptance or not as yet, you can still refer them to this website to apply for the scholarship. It's a 4-year scholarship. It covers total tuition. So it's a really good scholarship to get them on. They will just select the program and they submit. Once they submit, then it will be vetted, and once approved, someone will be in contact with them from the university to sort this out.
All right, everyone. So now we are going to move on to another bigger page that you can find scholarships on. And just to touch on what Percival was saying, first year students, incoming students, please make great use of this web page. I don't remember the exact number, but our Professor Sean Thorpe, who is the faculty dean, he was speaking on one of the morning program sessions that we had, and it's quite a lot of money that's provided to UTech as it relates to the STEM scholarship. I'm sure it's like 1 billion or some big amount of money. It is a lot of opportunities that are available to you students. If you're an incoming student, this one is for you. Please, 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 please apply. Use a couple of days that are remaining and apply. So if you need help as it relates to walking through the application process on the UTech website, this one is for you. So when it comes down to like submitting the required documents and the application form, the same one that was on the page that I was showing you before, that's the one that you would fill out. Or as I was saying, you can fill out this form, this contact form on this website. A faculty representative will reach out to you and walk you through the process so it's clearer for you. So please, first year students, incoming students, make great use of this opportunity. The current students had already gotten their fair share when they came, and there are still scholarship opportunities for the current students. First years, that one is definitely for you. So now we're going to move on to a next big area that you can find scholarships on, and it is the Ministry of Education and Youth webpage, and it is dealing with their general scholarships. So now this is one of the more popular ones, right? We all should know. I would hope would have known of this, and if not, you know about it now. So again, scan the QR code that you're seeing, and it will take you to that web page. And the scholarships on the Ministry of Education, it is for incoming university students and the current university students. And as you can see here, this don't say current UTech students, university students. So if you are a UTech student, or if you are a UE student, university student, these scholarships on the Ministry of Education website are for you. And the deadline is June 30th. There are scholarships for everyone, first year up to final year. And we are just, I think there's supposed to be a video, right? A video that walks us through how you can find the site, just in case the QR code wasn't working, or just in case you need a refresher on how to find it afterwards. So just type in TSAP. Let me just restart the video. Video mover left me actually. We're gonna go to the website either way, so it's gonna be fine. All right, so there you can see that it is a whole lot of different scholarships that are available. And as we have been saying, some of these scholarships are not limited to STEM students. And I'm going to go on the website and you can see. So even though this is a STEM session, because it's hosted by, myself, the engineering representative, and Percival, who is the computing representative, these scholarships, a lot of these scholarships are available and open to everyone. Please, please, please Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell everybody about the opportunities. Because STEM students don't pay for tuition. We shouldn't pay for tuition because we have so many opportunities available for us. All right, let me go back to the home screen. All right. So here again, on all of these websites, they clearly list out what they are looking for. So it says students who are awaiting their CSET and CAPE and acceptance letters from their institution of choice will be provisionally processed pending the release of their results. So if you don't get your results as yet, do not worry. Apply same way because the ministry understands that some of the information is out as yet. And when those informations come out, you will be processed accordingly. All right, so here we have some of the general scholarships. You can just browse through a few of them. Let's look at the annual Jamaica scholarship. Let me just check the chat and see if anyone is good. So, right. So let's give the page some time to load. Right. So here, one of the first scholarships available is the annual Jamaica scholarship. And it says that this scholarship will award where it goes to first year university students who are desirous in pursuing a bachelor's degree in any faculty of the University of the West Indies or UTech. So even if you belong to engineering or if you belong to health sciences or if you belong to medicine, it don't matter. For this scholarship, for this one, everyone, from once you're a UTech or a U student and you're going into your first year, this scholarship is for you. And here you have all of the supporting documents that are required listed out. You know, if you're a university student, you can get your transcript or you get your progress report. And you know, for those UTech students, you know, you can get your progress report in a matter of I think 3 days at your student affairs office. Right. So here you just scroll through and you see which scholarships apply for you, and you just apply. So if you wanna get more specific and look at like more STEM-based scholarships that MOE offer, they have the big one that most persons would know about, and that is the MSTVET scholarship. And I can vouch for this one because I am on this scholarship. So as it says, it's awarded to first year and second year students. So those students who are going in their second year, this scholarship is also pretty much eligible for as well. So if you're pursuing anything in math education, science education, technical vocation, engineering, computing, anything MSTVET related, this scholarship is for you. And you want to know the beautiful thing about MSTVET? It's not one or it's not two persons who get the scholarship. It is 100 people. 100 people get this scholarship, and it is a full scholarship, full tuition, full booking, boarding where necessary. It is just a wonderful scholarship, and it is for 100 students. When I was applying in my time, and I had a few of my other friends applied, I don't know of anyone who applied to MSTVET and didn't get the scholarship. I don't know if anybody who applied to MSTVET and don't get it. It's 100 people that they're giving it out to. So please, 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 someone say read the criteria. If you are eligible to do this, do not make the deadline miss you. Go forward and apply. And of course, you can always recheck the websites to see if these companies or the ministry updates their deadline. All right, so that is it for the MOE webpage. Someone has their hand raised. Can go forward with your question.
All right, I'm asking if the UTech STEM scholarship, does it also covers boarding as well?
It depends on the scholarship, right? So on the UTech page, there are a whole variety of scholarships. Let me see if I can even go back to that one. Right. So for the UTech scholarships, I think it for first year students it does cover boarding. For the incoming students, right? So I'm being told for incoming students, boarding is covered for the UTech. Just to reiterate, MS does allow for wording as well from once you state that in the application and from further communication with the Ministry of Education, you can work out boarding. All right, so the next page that we will look at is Scholarship Jamaica. So if you are someone who's eagerly searching for scholarships, I don't think this name is anything that is new to you. I highly doubt it is new. Scholarship Jamaica is something that when I was applying for scholarships on their Instagram page, please type in right now Scholarship Jamaica on Instagram and follow that Instagram page. Every scholarship that you can think of, whether it is grants or different internship programs even, is available. They broadcast it on Scholarship Jamaica. So it can be scholarships that vary based on the company. Of course, the deadline will vary, and they post scholarships for everyone. So they will post like engineering scholarships, they will post marketing scholarships, they will post scholarships that are available for like all. I know there is a few scholarships that are available for students that used to go to certain high schools. You know, like I have a JC All Boys Scholarship that you can look out for if you used to go to JC and those things. So these scholarships, they're for incoming university students, current university students, and again, I'm stressing university. So it doesn't only deal with UTech. Any university you go to, you should be able to apply to these scholarships once you read the criteria. And the beautiful thing about Scholarship Jamaica is that the scholarships that they post there's a wide range. So it's different companies, different schools, just a lot of scholarship opportunities that are posted on their Instagram page and also on their website. And I think the QR code should take you to their website as well. So, as I said, there's scholarships available for Jamaican students and even for international students. So if you know anybody who plans to go abroad to study, they can go on Scholarship Jamaica to find different opportunities to fund their education. So this, on the next slide is a video that shows you how you can find the Scholarship Jamaica webpage. Right, so as you were seeing right there are scholarships for different companies, their undergraduates or diploma, if you want to go overseas or not, even for masters. There are scholarships present for everyone. And there is a part, I'm gonna make sure that I touch on that part. There is a section that you can go on the Scholarship Jamaica website to look for different scholarship opportunities based on your university as well. So it's a very comprehensive website with different information. So We're not ready for that. Go back and let me go on the Scholarship Jamaica webpage. I'm gonna switch over to that and just give it some time for the website to load up properly. All right, so I assume the page should be up and running for everyone. No, right. And I'm just realizing something, that on the web page, I'm seeing one of my friends on the web page actually. Shout out to him if he's here and watching. So this is the Scholarship Jamaica web page, as I'm saying, is a very comprehensive website. So to find the scholarships, you just go over here on scholarships and bursaries, and you click on this section. It's just allow the page some time to load up and scroll down. So here it shows you all of the scholarships across Jamaica. So the different websites, the different companies that have scholarships, you name it, it more than likely is here. So here you have, scholarships from Grace Kennedy, and Grace Kennedy gives out a lot of scholarships as well, actually, like different students. And I think we do have a Grace recipient scholar who will be showing us more on her application process. Here we have careers, different community college grants. So it's for everyone, university student, community college, you name it, JMMB Foundation bursary for final year students. It's literally available to everyone. And I said, master's scholarships are there as well. So if you know any master students who need financial aid, it is there. And this part, I like this part of the website the most because it allows you to look at the scholarships offered through your university. And here, there's every university covered, right? So, if you want to go on the UTech, it carries you right back to the student financing webpage. Takes you right back to the web page. So if you never know about the UTech page before and you all know about Scholarship Jamaica, you end up back on YouTube page, on UTech's page. And similarly, if you are a UE student, UE Mona student, just click there and it takes you to where you can apply for it. This is everyone. So if that are hosting this, please ensure you spread this information to everyone that you know. It's something that everyone can benefit from. All right. So now, there's a lot of information we just touched on a while ago. Like we look at a whole different set of web pages. So it's time to for me to see if we're not listening to me or if we're not just make it information pass through. So what we're gonna have now is a credit away. Alright, so the giveaway will be based on information that we would have touched on so far. So rules for the giveaway. You are going to have to type it in the chat. You're gonna have to type your answer in the chat. That's his fear, right? Right. Type the answer in the chat, and whoever gets the answer right first, you can just private message us with your number, and whether it's flow you have or digital, we'll take care of it. So this time for the first giveaway. And if you get the prize for the first giveaway, I'm fair enough. So if you don't pay attention and you can answer both giveaways, then you get the 2 credit. So this is the first one. So list 3 of the websites that students can use to find a scholarship. Any of the 3 that we looked at, I think we covered like 4 or 5 just. So just list 3 of them in the chat that you can use to find different scholarships. Looking forward to seeing the answers. Do we have a winner? Miss Thomas has come through. We have Scholarship Jamaica, UTech website, and the ministry. And we have Mr. White, who mentions the warlords. So we feel I'm have to give Mr. White something for the warlords who mentioned, not being biased or anything, but yeah. So Mr. Thomas, you can just private message myself or Percival with your number, and we will send the credit to you before the day is done. All right, so we're gonna move on to the next giveaway now. All right. How many applicants are eligible for the MST scholarship? All right, so Mr. White, wait, really? Who? Tajim? Tajim was the first person to come in with that one. All right, so I have Mr. Thomas and Kajim getting our credit giveaway. So as I said, just private message myself or Percival in the Zoom application, and we'll make sure you get your credit. So that's good. So I'm glad that you guys are paying attention. That's lovely. So that was the first part, the first segment of our session, where we looked at where you can find the different scholarships, the different deadlines. So now we're going to move on to actual testimonials from persons who actually applied and are benefiting from their scholarships. So on the flyer, we make sure to list out quite a decent amount of persons, and we will be starting off with Mr. Bernard Mulgrave, who is the NCB Foundation Scholar. So now, Mr. Mulgrave, I'll allow him to do most of the talking for himself. But, Mr. Mulgrave was an engineering student, and he will tell you more about some scholarship tips that he used to secure his scholarship. Mr. Mulgrave, you can go ahead. The floor is yours.
Good day, everyone. You guys are hearing me okay?
Come on, we're hearing.
All right. Well, I just said tips, nothing too long. Your presentation has been very good so far. So starting it off, as it says, I'm an NCB Foundation Scholar. All right. So some of the small things I'd say, well, I figure there are persons here also coming from high schools as well. So talk with, whether it be a guidance counselor for persons in university already, you can speak with your scholarship office and community groups. That's something that a lot of times is overlooked. Something else, a lot of us, your parents might work at companies. The companies might actually have scholarship or grant opportunities. Those are often overlooked. And those are somewhat easier because like the ones that for your parents or your community, it's a smaller batch that you're being compared to. So it's a lot of times easier to get. Another for other applications, if like an essay or do a video, do your best to stand out, right? So I hope you guys have been involved from high school. And for those of us who are in university, be involved, that's something that goes a long way. Currently, I know TJ mentioned some ministry education ones. Community involvement goes a long way for those. So be involved. That's something, and don't just be involved for the scholarship, but be involved also to build yourself, build a community and support. And so numbers game, right? So as TJ mentioned earlier, apply to a lot of scholarships. Apply to everything. Something that I will tell you though. TJ earlier said that you can read through, see what applies to you. My advice, sometimes even the one that doesn't apply to you, still apply. Because advice I got when I was applying was that sometimes persons who might fit that criteria, they themselves don't apply for whatever reason. And the money is just there at the company or organization, right? So sometimes they'll give it to someone who's not necessarily the perfect fit as how they might have described it, but isn't so still apply. And well, I mentioned the essay earlier. With technology nowadays, everybody have Grammarly, everybody have ChatGPT.
Recording in progress.
And good old fashioned can make somebody else read it. So you write an essay, ask someone to read it, right? Because while they're trying to stand out, you don't want to stand out for grammatical errors or bug mistakes, right? So ensure your essay is well done and your presentation is good. Some persons, it's a video
Progress.
for the scholarship, not necessarily essay. And apply early, right? Apply, and even at the physical application, start finding out information from early. So some scholarship, it's the deadline it opens in August. For example, NCB Foundation Scholarship hasn't been open as yet. However, the information is on their website, so you can go ahead and look at it, know what you need. So you'll need recommendations and so forth. Get those from early, right? So speak with the persons who you want to recommend you, get those letters, get all the supporting documents. If you know you'll need a transcript, try and get those from early. So once that deadline is open, you can just apply, everything, submit, your application is there. You don't really have that stress. And there are a lot of benefits. Not all right, from just being a scholarship student, one, of course, you're getting the funds. So you're not necessarily paying from your pocket. But there are other opportunities. A lot of these organizations and companies that give you the scholarship will also have programs in place to try and develop you, right, making you better. For example, NCB Foundation, I know that every year they have, well, right through the year, there are various volunteering opportunities and sessions for us to go out, participate, and grow. So something that I've always found funny, for me, I've never actually, a lot of times, as university students, a lot of you can relate to, financial clearance and all those issues, and we go through that and waiting on that. As scholarship students, a lot of times you don't have that issue because just once you fill out the form and note, okay, you're a scholarship student, your financial clearance, I believe it's automatically somebody granted earlier, so you can select your some earlier and so forth. Once you EC is being right? But yeah, that's a little tip from me. Main takeaway: apply. Go out, apply. Even if it's not for you, apply. You never know. Just have faith, and I wish you guys all of this.
So before we move on to our next presenter, are there any questions for Mr. Mulgrave regarding the NCB Foundation Scholarship? If yes, please feel free to put them in the chat. I'm sure he will be more than happy to answer a few questions. Right. If not, next up we'll be having a presentation from Scholorships. She's here, however, she has left us a very lovely, a very detailed presentation, which we will be playing for next. Give me one moment as I switch.
Hello, everyone.
So if you guys have any, or if there's any audio issues or errors, you can just please make note of that in the chat so we can have it resolved as soon as possible. So while the video is playing, please feel free to just type a message to let me know if you can hear the video.
Today, I want to share with you some tips and tricks on how to write your scholarship essay. Today, we're going to be focusing on standing out and making an impact. So first, we want to talk a little bit about myself. My name is Schorlarship. I have received $2.7 million in scholarships and grants. I am the recipient of the Grace Kennedy Douglas Orrain Scholarship, the Jamaica Energy Partners Scholarship, and the Palace Grant. So I have, some experience in applying for many different scholarships, and I want to share some of that experience with you on how it is that I think I was successful in getting scholarships. So I want to share 5 tips with you today. So the first one is knowing your audience. So think of the scholarship provider as your target audience. You're going to want to tailor your essay to impress them. So do your research. What kinds of candidates are they looking for? What causes do they support? So all scholarships are different. All scholarships and organizations are looking for different things. Some of them may have different prompts. So they'll tell you specifically what they want you to write about. But sometimes you realize that some scholarships, they would say, okay, I want this candidate to be focused more on volunteerism. I want this candidate to be focused more on leadership. And so based on that, you're going to tailor your essay. So you're going to say, okay, I'm going to put more emphasis on the fact that I have been involved in the community, involved in my schoolwork. I'm going to place more emphasis on the leadership roles that I have taken and tell stories based on that. So not all scholarships are looking for the same thing. And some scholarships simply want to see you want to demonstrate your academic excellence, but most scholarships or some scholarships, they want to see something more from you than academic excellence, because as you know, there are a lot of bright people, applying for these scholarships. So typically, they're going to want to see, other things, extracurriculars, things that make you unique, and not just, grades, even though grades are sometimes important. Tip number 2, you're going to want to brainstorm an outline. So before you start writing, brainstorm ideas and jot them down, or examples related to the prompt. Create an outline to organize your thoughts and structure your essay effectively. So this is not going to only be effective for the reader, the scholarship provider. When they're reading it, it's going to be easier for them when your essay flows, but it's also easier for you, the writer, who you're going to be thinking, okay, I have so much information to convey. I don't know where to start. I don't know how to, get the information across. It's going to be so much easier if you follow the regular 5-paragraph structure that we've learned in English. So I'm sure we're all familiar with the 5-paragraph structure of a standard essay. Of course, it doesn't have to be 5-paragraph, but to structure it like this, we don't want to abandon the skills that we learned in English and academic writing. These are still useful in writing scholarship essays. So you're going to want to have your introduction, your first topic, second topic, third topic, or fourth topic, whatever, and your conclusion. So if you're going to say, okay, I'm going to talk about leadership in the first topic, demonstrate how I've been a leader, so the experience I've had in leadership roles, you're going to do that in the first paragraph. Second paragraph, we can focus on your volunteerism. Third paragraph, we can talk about your passion for the field that you're going into. Don't just jumble everything up, because again, it's going to be hard to read. It's going to be, the interviewer or the person, the scholarship provider, is going to be confused when they're reading it. They want the essay to flow. They want the essay to have, structure. It is going to be easier to read, and it is going to just feel better. It's going to read better. So stick with that five-structure paragraph. Don't just jumble everything up like, oh, you're talking about you're a leader in the first paragraph, and in the third paragraph, you're talking about leadership again. No, stick to the skills that we've learned in English. Those still apply when you're writing scholarship essays. So the third tip that I want to share is you want to nail your introduction. So how can we do that? We always hear like start with a hook and stuff like that, but people don't really understand like what we're talking about. So when you're doing your introduction, again, you're going to want to start with a compelling hook. So this can be quotes often are cliche, but there are some times where people use quotes and it relates back to their entire essay. So it follows a theme. Don't just use a random quote that has nothing to do with the essay and you don't refer back to it in your conclusion or refer back to it in your body. Your quote should mean something and it should mean something within the essay. It shouldn't just be a random quote and then you abandon that quote throughout the essay. Have it linked back to it. That will make the essay, have more of an impact. Or you can start with an anecdote, a story. You can start with, giving background information, stuff like that. So the second one is, again, provide context and background. So again, these are tips that we learned in English class when we're writing essays, but they still apply. So you can talk about, okay, what it is that got you into the field that you're doing. What exactly, like a story or an anecdote that's, outlines why it is that you're in the field that you're in and why it is that you're interested in it. Give some background, some context, and again, make it personal to you. This is not the time to be using ChatGPT because ChatGPT doesn't know your story. Only you know your story. So again, make it personal. Give a story that relates to you. You're going to state your thesis or main idea, and this is just, okay, why are you applying for this scholarship? Why do you think that you're the best fit for this scholarship? That is what your thesis mainly is going to be about. Show enthusiasm and passion, and again, keep it concise and focused. You don't want to be rambling on, giving too much detail, because of course there's a word count and you don't want to go extremely over the word count. I know that some scholarships aren't strict with it, but you don't know, so you don't want to go over the word count a lot. You don't want to be giving like extreme details. Keep it short, keep it spicy, keep it memorable. So this is an example of an introduction that I think stands out. All right, so it says one of the most debated topics in America is how to provide affordable healthcare to the masses. I believe the answer lies in accessible healthcare providers. Nurse practitioners often go unappreciated and unrecognized for their versatility and value in the medical profession. With this scholarship, I would continue my training to become a nurse practitioner and provide attainable medical services to undeserved communities. So you see here where the person, they state their background, they state why they're interested in it. They give like a context, right? They're talking about, okay, nurse practitioners, I believe, are underappreciated in the society that we live in. And so that is why I wanted to become a nurse practitioner. So those personal stories, those personal anecdotes really go a far way. Then she goes on to say, growing up in a small Montana farming town, the closest hospital was 45 minutes away. The only local family doctor charged whatever he wanted because he was the sole provider. My parents relied on home remedies to treat any ailment my brother and I developed. This is when my passion for medicine first took form. So there we have it. If you don't know, you have to dig deep within. You have to say, okay, what is it exactly that ignited my passion? What is it exactly? Why exactly am I interested in this particular field? Because scholarship providers want to know that the person that they're giving their money to is actually passionate about what they're going to do, because this gives them, better investments, that they're going to stick with it, right? So those personal stories are what gets you really, what makes the essay really unique. And so this is an example. This is actually the introduction that got me the Douglas Orion Scholarship. The interview got me shortlisted. So I'm going to just go over it, and you can see, you can parallel it to the one that we just saw before and the similarities between them. A pathologist is able to use machine learning algorithms to analyze tissue samples and make more accurate diagnoses. A visually impaired person is capable of using an app to narrate their immediate surroundings in real time using artificial intelligence. These groundbreaking feats are owing to engineers all over the world who had the courage to push the limits of what their minds can do. It is my desire to emulate these scientists by pursuing ways to create and use technology to benefit society. Designing and developing software fascinates me because of its ability to be incorporated into every sector and its potential to significantly improve humanity's quality of living. I yearn to develop an app that allows Jamaicans to better utilize banking and e-commerce. Because of these interests, I decided to pursue a degree in computer science at the University of Technology in order to become a software engineer. My ultimate career goal is to open my own software development agency where I can employ other engineers from across the island. So with that, you realize that I gave my context, I gave my background, I started off with a hook, right? Telling all the things that computer science is able to do. And then, of course, I linked it back to myself, and I linked it back to Jamaica, and I linked it back to the industry that I'm going into. So yeah, that is just an example. Again, you don't have to stick with these rules strictly. It's just to give you a guide and just to give you an example of how it is that you can make your scholarship essays unique. So for be unique and be specific, I've been saying this a lot before, but now I really just want to hammer it down. You don't want to be generic. You don't want to just say, you know, I am a great communicator. I am this, I am that, I get good grades. You're going to want to go in depth because again, there are a lot of people applying for these scholarships. So be specific and provide examples. Use specific examples and anecdotes to support your claims and illustrate your achievements or experiences. Show rather than tell the reader about your qualities or accomplishments. Generic statements like, I deserve this because I am a hard worker, aren't enough. Every applicant is a hard worker, has good grades, etc. What makes you different, special, and memorable? Instead of saying, I am a hard worker, say, I upheld 2 jobs while I was in high school to support my family, and I still maintained a 3.75 GPA. This is no longer a generalization. It is an achievement specific to your life and upbringing. So again, you want to, again, show, not tell. You can't just say, I am a great leader and this is why I deserve it. Give an example, right, of the time of a time in your life where you overcame a barrier, where a situation where it required you to be a leader and you stepped up to the plate. Like you can't just, again, the scholarship people, they don't know you, only you know you. You have to help them know you. And you can only do that by providing real world examples in your life. You can't just be generic and just say, I'm a great leader, I volunteer a lot. Go in depth into, but not too in depth, not too much detail words that you're rambling on. And that is again why you're going to follow the rules. Because in the second tip that I gave was to follow a structure. So when you're following a structure, that again is going to be easier in getting the details that you want to get into. Because if you don't follow that structure, you're going to be like, okay, I don't know what to focus on. I don't know what to say about this. I can't provide an example of this. It is going to be easier when you jot it down, when you brainstorm and you realize that, okay, this is the instance I'm going to be talking about. And when you're that specific, it's going to make it easier for you to write. It's going to make, you know, all the feelings and all the accomplishments easier to come out. And the last tip, rule number 5, is to edit and proofread. So after writing your essay, revise and edit it for clarity, coherence, grammar, and spelling errors. Ensure that your essay flows well and conveys your message effectively. It's also helpful to have someone else review your essay for feedback. Note, taking a break and revisiting your essay with a fresh perspective after a day can greatly enhance its quality. So what I did, you want to look at it with fresh eyes. So what I usually did is I wrote for a long, or when you're writing for hours, sometimes that perspective can just like leave you. So you leave it, you go to bed, you wake up the next morning, and then you read it back again. And that is going to help you say, why did I write this, right? You're going to help you to nitpick and, clean up your essay. And what I also did was I asked my English teacher to review it for me. I said, sometimes a different perspective can really help you. So I'd say, how does this sound? Do you think that I'm talking too much about this? Like, ask them for tips, ask them for help. And with that, this is the end of my presentation. Those are my 5 tips for you. And I really wish you luck in scholarship hunting, right? We all want to get our scholarships. And I really hope that this was helpful to you.
All right, so that was Sharisa's presentation. We thank her so much for still taking the time out to send a video, even though she would not be able to make it today. So would have had a lot more information. So Renard went and gave his experience, and we have Sharissa giving a great detail as it relates to your scholarship essays and application. So now we're going to move on to one of our next scholars, Mr. Ricardo Martin, who is a current MST Vet scholar. So Renardo is NCB, Sharissa was Grace Douglas Arain and Jamaica Energy Partners, and then we have Ricardo, who will speak more on the MST Vet scholarship. Ricardo, are you there?
Okay, so you can hear me?
Yeah, man, we're here. You can go
All
ahead.
right. So good day, everyone. So I'm an MST Vet scholarship, and TJ made some note of this earlier that all of his friends has applied for this scholarship, and every single one has gotten it. I can speak of this as well, as TJ is from the east side of the island, and I am from the west side. I know people from UTech Teacher Scholarship who have applied for this scholarship, and every single one has gotten this scholarship. So my first tip for you is to apply. So some people might be worried about their GPA not meeting like the minimum requirement, but I'm telling you that you can apply. And you should also be involved. You must be remembered, you must stand out. So you might be a prefect, sub-prefect, student council, you might be in a school band, you might have some community involvement and be involved in some community service. This can help you in your application. And some of you might be worried about references. So for references, you can ask a teacher, your principal, your guidance counselor, all these different people. And if you're at UTech at first, you can ask your lecturers or maybe your academic advisor to help you with the reference letters that you need. 2 reference letters for the MST Vet scholarship. And also this scholarship is a very good scholarship as it covers full tuition and it also covers boarding for 4 years, as UTech is has 4-year engineering degree. So, and also if you need a little stipend, you can talk to the Ministry of Education about this and they will listen to your case or whatever and they can help you. Otherwise, it also covers books and other expenses if needed. And again, I cannot stress this more. You need to apply. The ministry said there are 100 recipients of this scholarship, but trust me, I feel like they actually accept more people than that, because I remember I applied for this scholarship when there was COVID and we had an online webinar, and there was about 200 or more different students in there applying for this scholarship. So I'm telling you that you must apply for this scholarship. So that is it for me, and I hope you all the best in your applications.
All right, thank you so much, Ricardo, for your insight on MST Vet and more light. Is there any questions for Mr. Martin? Is it related to the whole MST process? Are we all good? You're all good, just say all good in the chat.
All right, and next up we have a presentation from Brittany Darlington. So she is not here, but she has also left us with a lovely presentation, which I will be sharing shortly. Just give me a moment for the video to load, and then once you guys can confirm the scene, I will begin, and then I will also play. And once in the video, please let me know if there's any audio issues. So I'm going to play it now, so you can just type in the chat if everything is out.
Good afternoon, everyone. So first, let me start off by apologizing for my absence from the online meeting today. However, Tejaye had asked me to prepare a short video for you guys. So just so you know a little bit about me, my name is Brittany Darlington. I am a final year chemical engineering student. That means I'm through and I'm graduating November of this year. I have received over $1 million in scholarships and grants during the tenure of my degree, and I've also applied for over 50 scholarships during that time. Some of them repeats, of course, because saying no once doesn't mean saying no always. Some of the companies that I've received scholarships and grants from are Windalco, New Fortress Energy, BGLC, that's Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Commission, UTech, and the St. Catherine Parish Council. But let's get into the tips that I have for you guys today. So firstly, the first tip I have for you guys is to search high and low. It's imperative that you search everywhere for scholarships. In my first year alone, I applied for 26 scholarships. Yes, I had a sheet of paper and I looked at UTech scholarship listing and I wrote down all the ones that applied to me, whose criteria I fit. Then I Googled all the companies I knew about in the engineering industry to check to see if they had scholarships, particularly because from the company's perspective, it's easier to sponsor students' education whom you can potentially hire in the future. So I was looking at companies like Windalco, Jamaica Energy Partners, Petrojam, and so on. Then I looked at other companies that had more general scholarships just for university students. Places like Burger King, Grace, at the time JLP, JN Bank, Ministry of Education, etc. So as you can see, I've exhausted all the options. And also you can also look on social media. You have Scholarship Jamaica, that's on Instagram. You have several options. So please search everywhere and make sure that you apply for all the ones that fit your criteria. The second tip I have for you guys today is to be organized. Now, it's important that you organize all the information that you just researched. What I did with my list of 26, I ensured to put the submission deadline for each scholarship beside them. And I did it chronologically, so the soonest to the latest. Then I wrote down all the documents that I needed to submit. So, and I also tallied all the documents that I could. So when I went to the printery, I would say I needed X amount of IDs, TRNs, CSEC and CAPE grades, acceptance letter, and so on. That kind of information. Because you don't want to be missing anything and then miss out on your chance to get a scholarship. Okay? And that brings us to tip 3. Okay. Grades are important, but they will only get you shortlisted. Now I'm going to be frank. everyone has grades. Most people that are applying for scholarships have good grades. Unfortunately, in the time we are living in, having good grades does not set you apart from the masses. So when you write that personal statement, when you write that paragraph, that essay, I want you to pull from every experience you've had that makes yourself a strong candidate. Talk about all the hardships you went through, whether it be that you didn't have the resources that you need, for example, like a laptop, so you had to be going to the library every day after school. Maybe your parents didn't have it to send you to school every day. Maybe you had to go to school without lunch some days. Everybody's experience is different. But any struggle that you went through that makes you unique, please include it, because at the end of it, you want to be able to say, despite all these challenges, I prevailed. Okay, and the fourth tip I have for you guys is prepare for the interview and be on time. I know in Jamaica we have this culture of being late, but you must be early for your interviews. The rule of thumb that I use is that if the interview is at 3 p.m., I'm already late at 2:55. So you should be at least 15 minutes early for your interviews. Now, in preparation for an interview, you must know the company inside out. Once I was not fully prepared for an interview, specifically the JEP, Jamaica Energy Partners Scholarship. I went into that room thinking I was ready, but then the interviewer, one of them, asked me, "Can you tell me about the company's social responsibility?" I didn't even know what social responsibility was. Okay, all I could tell her was that I don't know. I was at a loss for words. So, and the minute I stepped out, I knew I must have not gotten the scholarship. And for those of you who don't know, now I know. The social responsibility of a company refers to what the company does to give back to the community. For example, if they host health fairs, if they give out book vouchers, if they have a school fair, those kind of things. So, when you are preparing for these interviews, please know everything. The CEOs, the management structure, the starting year for the company, the social responsibility, and the synopsis of what they do. You must know those things. Also, when you're preparing for the interview, you need to practice questions such as, tell me about yourself. Why do you deserve this scholarship? What is your greatest strength? And so on. So these are important that you guys have an answer ready for these questions. And also, final part on this, be relaxed. It's normal to be nervous, but do not let it get the best of you. Remember, it's just a conversation to get to understand you better. Okay? And my fifth and final tip for you guys today is do not be discouraged. So like I said, I applied for 26 scholarships / grants in my first year. I was shortlisted for 3 and I got 1. And that was the Wendalco Scholarship. So you can't be discouraged when everything doesn't go your way. I ended up being a repeat recipient of the Wendalco Scholarship. So I got it 3 times, which means I got 450,000 in total from them. I applied for the BJLC grant in my first year. I didn't get it. I applied in second year and then I got it. I also applied for the New Fortress Energy Scholarship in third year, but I didn't get it till final year. So even if you don't get through the first time, please don't be discouraged. Keep applying and keep trying because you never know what will happen. Well, that is all the tips I have for you guys today. I hope that all I have shared resonates with you and that it will help you to receive scholarships that cover your entire tuition. So if you have any questions for me particularly, please feel free to message Tejaye with them and he will send it to me and I'll give you a reply as soon as I can. All right. Bye, everyone.
All right, so that was Brittany's presentation, and we thank her so much for submitting her video, even though she could not make it here today. So we are almost, at least, I'm not even gonna say anything. So I hope that would have been paying attention to what Bernard and Sharissa and Ricardo and Brittany would have been sharing.
Good afternoon.
So now is where I just, kind of test to see if you guys are actually listening or not. So let me just switch back over to the presentation actually. And let me just allow the presentation to load up. Right, there we go. All right, so now we're gonna have our next giveaway, but this time it won't be credit. It is going to be merch, engineered merch, and Bulldogs skit merch. And of course, as UTech students, when you come to UTech, if you decide to come to UTech, you realize that even though certain schools, whether it's engineering or SOBA or SBLM, everyone will have their different armbands and merch, but it's good to support everyone. So regardless of what student you are, even if you're not a student at UTech, these merch are available for you to get. So first of all, we'll go ahead with the first question and what the first giveaway item will be.
All right. So the first giveaway item on the list is none other than the Skit Bulldog armband. And in giving away, we have two colors mainly, the standard orange and white. The other is the gray. It's like a color palette of gray, black, and orange. So the writing is in orange with the Skit Bulldogs logo. So that will be our first giveaway item. Qualify for this. As if no, I'm not seeing anyone in the chat. Make it a bit easier instead of listening. We can see any two things that show as it is. Right. Anyone in the chat, so I guess I my armband. All right. Um, this question, so I hand over now to.
Sorry, excuse me. I believe while you were asking the question, you were breaking up, so no one couldn't hear.
All right, so no problem. I was saying, you can just let me know if you're hearing me now. I was saying that if you could list 3 tips spoken by Sharissa as it relates to essay writing, you can be the recipient of a Skit Bulldogs armband. Person to speak on 3 tips will
All right. I don't understand how nobody's not answering the questions, you know. It seems as if Percival gets to keep this kid armband, I guess, for orientation or so. But just to reiterate her points where you make sure you brainstorm and outline, you know your audience, nail your introduction, be unique and specific, and lastly, edit and proofread. All right. So we are going to go now with another merch giveaway. This time is going to be an engine Warlord's armband. And let's just prepare for that question now. So for this giveaway is a Warlord's armband. And this question is based on something that Brittany would have shared in her video. Something that she said she didn't know. But let's see if you guys know now. But the first person to type the answer in the chat gets it. So the question is, according to Brittany, what is the social responsibility of a company? All right, I said touch with a raised hand. Go ahead, Mr. Hewitt.
Hello, good day. In regards to Percival's question, I don't think that much persons heard it. I think persons are asking for him to repeat, but you can continue.
Let me see if there's anyone in the chat who just got the correct answer for social change. All right, so it seems as if Kajim was the first to respond and he nailed the answer. Social responsibility is what the company does to give back to the community. So Kajim for 3 on prizes. Wonderful. All right, let's ask our next question then for the skit armband. Very, very, very popular skit armband. Are you ready for it? You guys hearing us now?
Yes.
Right. So the question is, what is one of the scholarships that Sharissa did not? First person type it in the chat. What is one of the scholarships as you see? All right, so Grace Douglas scholarship. Should I give him for that? You know, I'm feeling pretty generous. So, Miss Wright, you are the recipient of a skip armband. So all the persons who would have won something, whether it was in the credit giveaway or the merch giveaway, please feel free to reach out to us either on the Zoom link, or as you see here, you can you can reach out to us on our Instagram pages, via our emails. So to continue keeping up with us, whether it is or engine, you can follow us on Instagram at our various Insta handles, or for the recording, feel free to look up the recording. Give us a day or two, at least know. We're gonna post it today. We're gonna post it soon. So you can check the YouTube, either of our YouTubes for the live stream. And if you have any other questions, it does not even matter if it's pertaining to scholarship. If you have any questions that you would like to reach out to us, any issue that you are facing, please reach out to us via our emails.
Found it very exciting and learned a lot, especially the deadlines for scholarships, as TJ mentioned earlier. Currently, the scholarship webpage is not up to date, and it says that applications should be closed for June 30th. However, it actually should say July 31st, right? So again, I hope you guys utilize the different tips that were mentioned today to apply for scholarships. Please, money that is giveaway. It does not make sense. You struggle to finance yourself through school and will have money to be given away. So as you can utilize the tips, rewatch the recording, watch it 10 times if you have to, just to remember everything, and then to put your best foot forward for applying to the scholarships. Also, we want to encourage you to share the information to your friends that could not make it today. So to just give them that little edge over others so that they can apply for these scholarships and become successful in their application. As mentioned earlier, we have our social medias on the page, so please feel free to go ahead, follow both the Engine Warlords and Skit Bulldogs Instagram. Keep up with us on our various social medias, such as YouTube and TikTok pages. And for general student queries or engagement, we are present in both our respective year groups and notices groups. And of course, we have our Students Union email for any issues that you are facing. So please feel free to reach out to us on all platforms. We will be engaging with you guys just to ensure that everyone is okay. Also, there is a form that was sent in the chat, post evaluation feedback form. We're just asking if you guys can go over and just fill out that form for us so we can get some feedback as to how the forum went and how we may improve for possible forums in the future. I'm seeing in the chat where someone asked if I could repeat the name of the scholarship, like 31st. Okay, so all the scholarships that are listed on the UTech JA scholarship website should close for 31st of July. I was saying that on the website now, it says June 30th. However, after speaking to the scholarship unit, they made us be aware that information is out of date. And so it should actually say July 31st. So we're just giving you that heads up from now. Right, so for the current UTech students, and this also applies for incoming students as well. Additionally, you can submit your scholarships either to the scholarship unit, which is by the Faculty of Law, or through email at financialaidutech@gmail.com. Right, and I think that will be it. If you guys are earlier, we will make the recording available as soon as possible. And your scholarship.
So as it relates to that next question, STEM scholarship deadline, I believe you would be referring to one on the FENC website. So that one is for incoming students. The fall under the Faculty of Engineering and Computing. That one, to my knowledge, closes June 30th. As I said, sometimes the deadlines are pushed back. So if it is a case that it is pushed back, we would share with it in the respective year groups or on social media pages. But this is the deadline that was communicated to us. So for this specific one, for the incoming students, June 30th is the day. So just remember, have your supporting documents and everything. And if you do have any concerns or questions, you can use the FENC website to actually have a representative walk you through the process. All right, so that is it from us. More scholarship session. We hope it was very fruitful for you. That is it from us.
I
Hi,
have one more.
I have a question. My question is, is there someone in the financial aid office that we can go to regards help in filling out applications, scholarship applications, and someone that can show me a list of different scholarships that we can apply for? I'm not hearing you if you're responding to me.
Any better?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, great. So I was saying really that you can always speak to Miss Maduri, who is the scholarship officer. The scholarship unit is right by faculty of in applying or it's not.
Sorry to cut you, but you're breaking up again.
What part do you not hear?
After you said Miss Madiri, I didn't hear after that.
Yeah. So I was saying, in the event that you are not able to go there, you should be able to just send them an email, which is actually being displayed on screen, financialaidutech@gmail.com. Just as it relates, you can also scan the QR. It relates to the list of scholarships. If you go on the website, it clearly outlines. Is there, and once the recording has been uploaded, you rewatch it. Google and type UTech scholarships. Not only but scholarships available as well. So I hope that question. Okay, so are there any more questions? Please feel free to reach out to TJ or myself, inform you as best as we can. If there are no questions, once again, I'd just like to shout out to you guys, give you a big thanks for coming. Please share with your friends. Both of us, TJ and I, wish you all the best in. Thank you.